For the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities.
Hello and welcome to episode 17 of the ever-popular That's a Shame.
Ever popular indeed.
I am Declan.
And I am Isaac.
And it's been a couple of days since we last spoke to you, and indeed each other.
It has, hasn't it? You really fell off the grid.
Well, no, that was you. So
I really fell off the grid is what I meant, yeah.
Where were you?
When you're a working man like me, doing, up to an hour of teaching a day. No, I've been keeping to a much more, what's the opposite of nocturnal? Diurnal, is it? I think it's something like that. Schedule than usual.
I know, it's really depressing because it entirely coincided with me having an entire week at work rather than just a 3-day spell. So normally I don't mind it because Isaac's up until an ungodly hour. So there's someone to talk to you. But this week I've been utterly devoid of company.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It hasn't left me without things to do, sadly.
That makes it sound like you've been amusing yourself with crime.
I've been amusing myself by attempting to curb other people's crimes.
Curb them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or at least make sure I don't get blamed for them.
That's fair enough. It is diurnal, by the way. I just want to put that out there because I know people are on tenterhooks.
Well,
I just want to stop that train of thought as it goes. But tell me about this crime.
Oh no, it's going to have to be another episode topic.
Oh really? It's too much to even.
Yeah, perhaps our strangest customers at the hotel yet.
Wow, well that's something to look forward to.
Exactly, including.
That's a nice tease.
Yeah, I know, and I'm talking weirder even than the man from 208.
Episode 3.5, The Man from 208, available on shame.city.
That's the one.
Wow.
Disappointing listening figures so far. Episode.
Anonymously underperforming 3.5. What?
That's the chap. We'll never do a half episode ever again because people are too stupid to realise it's part of the show.
Do you think that's what people responded poorly, was the decimal?
I absolutely think so. I think that people saw that it was 0.5, saw that it was...
If it's not an integer, it's not for me.
They saw that it was 0.5, they saw that it was 40 minutes shorter than the episodes either side of it, and thought, this is just some bullshit plugging.
This is an accident, they thought. They thought probably they just leant on the mic by accident. Some Asian detective rocked up in the artwork, which I encourage you to check out, and it just happened upon the feed. Well, I'm here to tell you, it's one of the greatest stories about a bath full of semen-infested tea that you're ever likely to find. So pop back, pause this now, and come back when you've listened, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, on a vaguely related note, with the 0.5 and the episodes in a week. I mean, we called it 0.5 because at the time we were only doing weekly episodes.
True that.
And we hadn't committed ourselves to doing bi-weekly. So we thought, it's coming in between, we'll call it 0.5. Now we are, of course, doing bi-weekly. But a small update on that is that...
No need to thank us.
That's
a shame cast if you'd like to.
It's our pleasure.
It really is.
Shame.city/reviews if you'd like to thank us publicly.
If it's your pleasure as well.
But we have a small update on our scheduling, which is that there is none.
No, but don't worry. I can already sense the panic, the adrenaline rush coursing throughout the veins of our listenership now.
All we're doing is we're putting into legislation our already apparent lack of organisation. So instead of saying... we'll release at 3 p.m. Wednesdays and Sundays. Yeah. We're saying we'll release whenever we can on Wednesdays and Sundays.
Whenever the stars align to the point that it's finished and ready to go.
Yeah, it's very much...
That's 1 second to midnight.
It's very much like...
I mean, we'll aim for the day.
Yeah. It's very much like that bit in Hercules, spoilers, where the planets align, and then there's that big maelstrom in the middle of the sea that's green. Don't ask why.
No, that's fine.
And then, as it goes down, and then you get to the bottom, and it reveals there's this big cage full of huge titans. That's how we have to find the inspiration, the quality.
I see. I did wonder where you were going with that
for each episode, and you need that specific a set of circumstances, and sometimes that just doesn't happen by 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Sometimes
what can I say?
sometimes those planets aligning are me waking up and Isaac waking up
And
simultaneously.
that can be difficult enough to coordinate
Yep.
on some days. I mean, some may accuse you of putting into perhaps too grand terms in this kind of titanic quest for freedom, our search for content. But I think, if anything, that is to understate it.
Yeah.
Because it is, it's quite a comprehensive process.
Those people aren't necessarily aware of just how much work goes into each episode. For instance,
It's like jazz, isn't it? It's like you have to know the rules before you can just miss all of them by such a wide mark in our case.
yeah. For instance, today's episode, I did at least 15 minutes of preparation.
Wow.
And when's a man as busy as me to find 15 minutes in his day or night?
With all these hotel crimes to contend with.
Exactly. Well,
You're a veritable marple.
well, here's the thing: is it's a hotel crime in itself that I've been researching, but of a different kind.
Okay.
You
What a lovely segue. I just want to point that out.
Bronze Award winning, you say?
Yeah, I would say so.
So, I'm not the only night porter at the hotel.
Okay. Oh, right, at the hotel.
Yeah.
I thought you just meant you were
Globally.
You're going to take credit for inventing the idea of working
Yeah.
at night.
There is another man who works at the hotel.
Okay.
I don't know if I've mentioned his name before.
Are you going to mention it now?
No, I'm not. So,
Oh, can you give us an initial at least or something? We need a moniker.
we're going to give him a name, but
Okay.
it's not his name.
Okay.
We're going to call
Can
him.
we call him Genie?
No, sorry.
Okay.
We're going to call him Alan.
Aladdin?
Alan.
Okay. Close.
Yeah.
I'll compromise
Okay,
that.
thanks. So Alan is an older man
Uh-huh.
who, showed me the ropes when I first joined.
Wait, sorry, just to interrupt. When you say an older man, is that like when you say he's a larger guy and you mean he's like morbidly obese? Are you saying this man is like in the grave?
No, no. He's
an idea,
maybe,
a memory of a
He's
man.
like late 50s, early 60s, probably.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so he's an extremely nice guy. Before I joined, because he was previously working alongside another night porter who we know was fired for bringing in a sleeping bag, pillow, the full whack. So in between his departure and my arrival, Alan just gave away his initial there.
Subtle.
Alan worked, I think, 3 whole months, like straight, without a break, every night.
Like in a kind of Jack Nicholson in The Shining style, but
Yeah.
with even more nocturnal activities.
Exactly. And so he's an absolute hero. Like he'll do anything for you. Now,
He'll chase you through a maze at the drop of a hat.
yeah, I had
God
to
bless him.
I had to do sort of 3 nights alongside Alan when I was
Why do you need 2 people at once?
when I first joined, so he could show me
I
all the
see.
stuff that needs doing, all the stuff that doesn't need doing. He spent, I'd say, about an hour, maybe an hour and a half each night, dozing in and out, which is fair. He's like sat in the chair. He'd spend another couple of hours reading, so he loves to read. He'd do the jobs. And that seemed to me to be what would fill his time there, and I have always assumed that this is the case. However, I was showing my friend Mark, my colleague Mark, who that was just to specify that he also works at the hotel. I haven't downgraded him from friend. Actually,
Well, we were friends.
Thinking
and he
about
fell
it.
asleep during Twin Peaks. So
thinking about
that
it.
was curtains for
Yeah.
that.
Now he came in to take over from me in the morning, and I was showing him something that I'd been watching that evening on YouTube, and he asked me if I'd ever checked the search history for the computer.
Oh, no.
Well, what we uncovered is an absolute treasure trove of crime.
Oh, no.
Because it seems that Alan's favourite pastime is YouTube.
Okay.
And
Okay,
this,
well, that's already less dodgy than I was thinking.
don't be certain.
Right, my mistake.
So, the thing about Alan's proclivity for YouTube is that he manages to watch more YouTube than literally any other human being. He's like looking through this history. It's like he's a bot that's like been designed to watch video. It's like he's been like hired, like he's doing some dreadful kind of people per hour thing where it's like, here's a list of videos you've got to click on so that they've got
they all
views.
exist.
Yeah.
It's like in The Matrix when he learns like martial arts by having it uploaded to his brain.
Exactly. Now,
that's Alan's Matrix.
I went through, I don't know, let's say 2.5 weeks worth of history rolling back. I took maybe 3% of the videos I saw. I have 2 full A4 pages of listings.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Alan.
He sometimes manages to watch 2 videos in a minute. Like, he's just like clicking through them and then moving on. He hasn't got
What
time.
you're saying is he's an absolute cultural fiend.
That's the one.
He's like a kind of Mark Kermode figure. He wants to stay on top of the video world. In a big way.
Exactly. But only if they fall into about 4 different categories.
Okay, so he's got a niche.
Yeah. And those categories appear to be lists, female TV presenters with accidental nudity, vaguely racially motivated fighting.
Oh, Alan. Must we?
And the penis.
Oh. Now that's quite a dichotomy that has presented itself.
Don't go thinking everything has to fall into those.
Okay, no, I don't want to pigeonhole him.
No.
That, far be it from me to, I mean, Alan, he's a complicated guy. He's got thoughts, he's got feelings.
And one of my favourite things about Alan is his ability to move around the genres.
Yes.
To bounce from topic to topic with unpredictable stamina. Like,
okay.
So just as an example, the last 1, 2, 3, 4 things that he searched were this: turning 50, wearing camo shorts and a lycra cotton shirt. She uses the fireplace lighter.
What?
That was the title of one video.
What? Turning 50 to fireplace lighter?
Yep.
What is that video?
I don't know.
That title has made me more confused.
I meant to say,
just put 8 emojis.
I meant to say, I think that we should commit ourselves now to never watching any of these videos. I never want
to try
know.
and recreate them.
Yeah.
I want to try and make what I think it's probably like.
You are probably going to regret saying that as we go forward within the next one.
I'm going to take that back already then, just preemptively.
Yeah. So, we had turning 50, wearing camo shorts and a lycra cotton shirt. She uses the fireplace lighter. Then...
That's just such a confusing... It's like someone's having a series of mini to grand strokes and seizures whilst trying to relay an anecdote about what they saw at the bus stop.
These 4 Mexicans messed with the wrong white guy.
Oh, no.
Followed by the equally spuriously titled...
What is it?
White kid knocks out a black.
Oh, Alan. A black Alan. Must you?
Now we have to like remember here that these aren't things that Alan's searched. These are the titles of the videos.
Which I suppose excuses him to an extent.
Yeah.
But it's difficult to stumble accidentally onto the white kid punches
a black.
Insert racial minority here. Area of YouTube without at least a little will, or, you know, he's going along with it at the very least.
Well, he ended the night on Disney Girls Then and Now 2017.
That's a problem, isn't it? That's a worry. I think he's more about then than he is now. I think he sees now as a kind of portrait of Dorian Gray style disappointment.
That's why he only needs to watch the first half.
Yeah, he just skips through. Miranda Cosgrove in School of Rock was peak Cosgrove, if you want my opinion.
Now, this is the thing. Like, this is where, I struggled to come to terms with looking through this history. And I'm praying that there's another explanation, that maybe these are all of the hits from the hotel Wi-Fi.
No, it's all Alan.
Because this simply is not the Alan I know, which I know sounds like the line from the end of the biopic about Alan.
No, it sounds like what Louis Theroux said about Jimmy Savile in the documentary Fallout.
Let's not throw the man in with Savile after four.
All I'm saying is it's a spectrum. This is how it starts. Disney Stars then and now is very much the gateway drug to full-on YouTube.
Well, the night after, he had a somewhat more eclectic mix of videos that were mostly less worrying.
Right.
All caps, crazy, awesome, stupid, idiot people, insane, fail and win compilation, #7.
That's not a video. That's just every word that people might click on in one vomit.
It was just an ad for bread in the end.
But what could you even search to find that? You couldn't have put in all those keywords.
You could have tried.
You could, but you'd have to have so many different competing mental illnesses
then
to think that was a good idea.
Credit where credit's due. Stranger interrupts fight with a lesson on respect.
Oh, I've seen this video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, fair play, Alan. That's that's a video about peace. It's about solving our problems with words. It's not about fucking Disney stars. So it's an improvement, I'll say.
Then takes a turn for the intellectual. Mm-hmm. Mideast Christian persecution reaches new levels, only to get worse in 2015.
Okay. I would say that, it is undeniably a more political bent. It's also one of those areas that people who are kind of dog whistle Islamophobes like to look into to no small extent. But we'll leave that. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Then, look, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt with the next one also, which I'm going to go ahead and say this was probably a YouTube autoplay thing.
Okay.
The first 5 words don't reflect well on Alan. I'll admit, but it does get somewhat cleared up, though not much. Raw. Kayla Muller sexually assaulted and beheaded by Islamic State. Pleads for help ignored by Obama.
Oh, by Obama?
Yeah.
Specifically. Oh, I didn't know they'd been sent that clip.
Someone Snapchatted it to him.
Just not bothered to do anything.
And then the last one.
Also, there's no way that's on YouTube. So what is that video? It must just be someone talking about it in their basement.
Almost certainly. It's probably that.
And then Barack.
It's probably that Paul Joseph Watson prick.
Oh my God, Paul Joseph Watson.
Can we share?
That's a shame.
Can we share that Sam Chris article about him with the with the post? Because that is the best thing I've ever read. The sentence saying that he has a voice like an automated phone message telling you've been missold PPI. It's one of the best insults I've ever heard.
We should just briefly introduce Paul Joseph Watson to people who don't.
If you don't
have had the privilege of never finding out.
He's an InfoWars northern racist cockhead who stands in front of a map and spouts hatred.
And he only exists because of the perpetual ability of ignorant people from other countries to think that if you have an English accent, you know what you're talking about. And I'm here to say even if it could not be further than the truth.
Even if it is the most nasal, horrific...
Hello, it's Paul.
Whining...
He sounds like Salad Fingers.
Yeah, he does sound a bit like Salad Fingers, you're right.
On his day off.
Yeah.
Horrible idiot, man.
Again, the other Sam Chris thing saying that he sounds like a sort of teacher trying to get across to pupils exactly what iambic pentameter sounds like by just this relentless ticking of a pencil on a table. If you have had an accident at work. So
he's dreadful.
I'm assuming it was one of those. The last video of that night, and I mean, make of this what you will.
I'll try.
One of the great video titles, Guinness World Record made by Indians in 2015 that nobody wants to break.
Nobody wants... Well, that's such... I mean, clickbait, for all its flaws... I mean, it does work because I'm so devastatingly curious to find out what this made by Indians. Was it all of India that clubbed together?
Last what one was it? Them.
Was the record being like the country of India making one record, so no one's going to bother on technicality? I need to find out what that is.
Well, no, we're not allowed to watch them. Oh. Don't you dare. We might change that.
That's
we
sad.
Might have to.
Yeah,
I just wanted explicitly known that we aren't going to be watching all of them.
No, I've got a very high filter for video content, and I'm afraid very little of it meets.
Then we move on to another day. A video that you and I may well have seen during one of our drunken nights of YouTube debauchery. Top 10 most brutal KOs in street fights.
I hope the Hawaiian shirt guy's in there.
I mean, if he's not,
that's the best video.
The video is incorrect.
Yeah.
Then 30 inappropriate selfies that went too far.
That's creepy, isn't it? That's like a seedy kind of Heat magazine, that page where it tries to photograph people.
Yeah.
Whose like tops falling off backs.
Same with bikini fails and oops embarrassing moments.
Bikini fail is two words I don't like being next to each other.
No, certainly as frequently as they are.
In Alan's life. He just says it sometimes instead of hello.
Yep.
And he has to correct himself.
Then, and this is where I do begin to worry about people, but for different reasons. All caps, breaking news, Clint Eastwood dead at 87. Rest in peace, Clint, touching memorial.
I forgot that one YouTube channel broke the news.
Yeah, and that no one else bothered.
Yeah. I think Obama ignores that kind of stuff, doesn't he? With kind of routine hubris that you'd expect from a Manchurian candidate figure.
Then, and there is just no link between these two videos, I'm afraid. But from that...
Which implies some agency on his part to have like actively got to a next sector of the video.
Worryingly, I feel so. The next one is just all caps, shaving your vagina. Top 3 tips and hacks.
Hacks. Surely hack is not a word to use in the sentence that combines genitalia and blades. 3 life hacks for how to shave your pubes. Featuring, that's probably Alan's vlog. I think he's just watching back. Yeah, no, number 2 was a bit weak, but I really picked it up with 3. Hats off to me. I want him reported.
No, leave Alan be. He's lovely.
I don't want to. He's not. He's concealing this horrible monster.
He's not a horrible monster if all he's doing is watching
beast of the
YouTube.
flesh. No, don't go saying that, because there's probably all kinds of bad things on YouTube that only Alan knows. He's probably got a secret one called MeTube, where it's just endless videos that he's collated and carefully filed away in his little alley of crime.
What is Alan's liked playlist?
Oh, no. Alan's liked playlist comprises the entire watch list by which Theresa May will push across heavy-handed, ill-thought-out, internet-restricting legislation.
He's the absolute poster boy of the Snoopers chart.
That's him. Alan Snoopy, whatever his surname is. Ooh.
Then,
oh dear.
Then, I mean, coming up is maybe the 3 greatest consecutive video titles of all time.
It's a triple bill that you'd want to feature.
There are no words, and then we've got some absolute phenomenal bathos. Right, okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
30 photos that'll make you look twice. 25 photos taken at the right moment.
That's all photos.
Right? If you thought that was all photos,
by definition.
If you thought that was all photos, how about 30 photos you need to look at to understand?
Wow, what a category. Because I would pay for someone to put together a video of photos you don't have to look at to understand. It would just have to be like
if you could find
the inside of your own brain.
If you could find 30 of them, that'd be great.
Also, why is there such a I mean, I'm taking Alan perhaps erroneously as representative of some kind of YouTube watching demographic. Why are there so many popular videos that are videos about photos? Surely there's a better medium for a discussion of photography.
What's that, a still image? Much better than the
sign me up.
And then after that, we just have news and then sports.
Oh, well, I mean, he's rounded off the evening. I like to think that he's kind of scheduling in advance of his arriving at work. He'll be like, okay, so I'll kick things off with some Disney stars, just catch up. Like, what has Miley Cyrus been up to? She went off the rails, Katy Perry stole her vibe, she's come back, she's pulled it all together. That's good, that will get me kind of vaguely titillated. Then, if only there was some kind of life hack that I could learn about genitalia I don't own, and the maintenance thereof, only to end it with some, he's going back to basics. He wants to ultimately be informed about as many areas as possible. And for that, we have to take our hats off to him.
We do. His search before that wasn't in YouTube. It was just a Google search for, are you ready?
Yep.
Pickles. But spelt Pickels.
Oh, yeah, is that a thing?
And before that,
Yeah.
the somewhat worrying, but I think moreover simply tragic search for clear internet search help.
No! That's so good. What a fucking idiot. Because once you've committed, once you've had the thought, oh, I should probably clear some of this, you can't search it unless you're certain that you'll be able to. Because otherwise you've just written your own death warrant. Like, imagine trying to defend that search history in court. If something illegal were to rock up in it and be like, that wasn't me. Like, I would, I look after what I searched online. So, sir, what's this last one here? How to, please, for the love of God, help me, ask Jeeves. Lycos, if you're listening. Burn internet history into the next life. Love, Alan.
Mr. Yahoo, please.
Oh, that's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
I absolutely wept. Mark and I were just crying at the computer.
How do you reckon? Have you seen him since uncovering this treasure trove of borderline sex pestery?
No, I haven't.
And how do you think? Because there's that phenomenon of families where it's uncovered that one member has like some life-changing, awful proclivity, and then like how do they face that afterwards? Do you think you'd ever be able to look at him the same?
I think so. Yeah.
Do you think that reflects poorly on your ability to entertain the company of people who are looking at such life hacks, lascivious life hacks, and child stuff?
I feel as though until I know that any genuine crime has been committed, it's a little unfair of me to pass judgment.
Yes,
he's also been extremely nice and helped me out a number of times.
It's probably because you're just about in the age range for former Disney stars.
I don't have a vagina for him to shave, though.
Not yet. Give it a few years.
Then again,
Alan will work his magic.
Then again, I feel that also he might have some insecurities, and and I don't like to think that anyone does. Two of the next videos down on the list: Elizabeth Banks on penis size.
Okay.
As in, like,
just a discussion.
I don't know whether it was a lecture or
at the Oxford Union,
MIT.
Next week we have Bill Gates talking about entrepreneurial efforts and eradicating polio. But until then, Elizabeth Banks. What about dicks?
Then followed by Aubrey Plaza's penis-filled summer.
What a horrible description.
She couldn't move for the stuff.
Yeah, it was everywhere. And in summer as well, the sweatiest months.
Thanks for that one.
Doesn't bear thinking about, does it?
Then some of the next ones are just beautiful. It's just beautiful knowing what the internet's created. The next one is called Kid Sentenced to Life in Prison. Then all caps, must watch.
Yeah, that's something uplifting.
Don't miss this upbeat video. Then we have one of the great crimes ever committed, which is No video title has ever gone downhill so quickly. That's my take on this one.
Okay.
12 celebrity lookalikes, but of different
Yes.
races.
But that's a real bait and switch, isn't it? They've got you in with the look.
They look like them, but if they were black...
There's a real cap on, I think, how much anyone can look like someone when they're a different race. Is that fair to say?
I think that's why there's only 12.
Yeah, I reckon they researched it for a multi-year, peer-reviewed project.
Yeah.
And came out with
one
butter
video.
disciples worth. That's really very upsetting. I think it's basically your duty to teach Alan about incognito mode. I mean, for the love of God.
The thing is I have shown him incognito mode before.
Why?
Well, because he asked.
What was that predicated on?
Because I went on the computer during our few days together and I watched something on YouTube. Something.
Did he hurriedly reach across and close a few tabs? Oh, don't look at that, dear. Eyes front.
And he was like, "Oh, why are you doing that?" Because obviously it comes up as, as being black, doesn't it? Like with the home pages. And I was like, "Oh, it's just down here." It just means that your stuff won't show up in the searches. And he was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool."
A light bulb flickers above his head and then is quickly extinguished by the sheer lust.
He simply just fell asleep and that was it. Thought it was a dream. Thought that no such incredible tool could surely exist in the known universe.
Bless him. Have you ever seen that Google, it's like a famous internet thing. Someone posted on Google's help forums a question that was something like, can internet search history ever be wrong? And I can't remember the verbatim body, but it's basically along the lines of, the computer that I share with my husband of 10 years or something has recently been filled with a lot of pop-ups or something. So I was investigating the history, found a lot of very hardcore pornography had been viewed on the computer. Is this normal? Is this a known problem with this build of Google Chrome? And the top response is yeah, it's been happening to a lot of people actually. What you want to do is just shut it down, forget it happened, don't ever mention it again. Have a good day.
That's so good. What an absolute hero.
to be that quick off the mark of just I've got this one.
Don't worry, lads. There's a fella in need.
Yeah,
someone's got to help him out. Then we have another.
It is a shame.
Then we have another series.
Okay.
This is.
I like these because you get a sense of the trajectory.
It's incredible, YouTube escalation.
Oh.
We have. Actually, to be fair, this is in your show, your little musical, where you have your brainstorming scene.
Yes.
It's
PR scene.
It's like that.
Assisted Suicide, the musical, will be performing at the Edinburgh Fringe if anyone wants to come in the last week. Assembly Ballroom. See you there.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Okay.
Never judge a book by its cover.
Okay.
And then the slightly more literal, never judge anyone by their appearances. Gone viral.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Okay.
That's how he ended that day.
That's quite a nice positive note of inclusion to have ended on, I'd say. We can at least commend his spirit of, reaching out and not being judgmental. Let he who is without sin shout, Alan.
Bustiest weather lady in the world, Carol Kirkwood.
Okay. Doing what? The weather?
No. I'm glad that you interrupted as I was leaving a little dramatic pause because it makes the ending of amazing huge boobs in tight blue dress 19th December all the more tragic.
Oh dear. That also, the fact that there's a date on the end is concerning. It's there's one for each day.
Yeah.
This person's archiving them.
Definitely. Like John drinks water.
Will be criminal. Oh yeah, he's a shame.
I mean, the next few are all much of a muchness in that regard. Carol Vorderman in see-through outfit, showing off her sexy bra. Busty UK MILF, not shy, brackets.
Oh, she's not shy. Oh, that's good.
Brackets, picture.
Another misunderstanding of the form.
Carol Vorderman, braless and big cleavage. Pride of Britain Awards 2016.
Is Carol Vorderman a bit of a sex symbol?
Great boobs in low-cut dress she's got there.
Is that your comment?
She's
my question, or is that a title?
She's got was my addition, but great boobs in low-cut dress, that is the end of the title.
Wow.
And then, I like this one because it implies a kind of malice on Susanna Reid's part. Susanna Reid distracting viewers with her cleavage.
Oh, what was she doing? Is that the day there was all that bad news that she didn't want to talk about?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I remember that.
George Alagaia's in the corner,
Sobbing.
talking about Grenfell. She's just pulling down her t-shirt.
Oh dear.
Then we have one of my favourite days in
we have a date?
internet search history. There's really no accounting for any of it. The second one is the most troubling thing I've ever found in internet search history. The ending is the most phenomenal way to end any day of video
Of
viewing.
YouTube viewing.
Yep. Okay, are we ready?
Yes.
I'm just going to run through them. We can discuss afterwards.
Okay.
A machine designed specifically to destroy the Earth. Frightening. Perverts are getting crafty with spy cams in Japan.
Crafty. Oh dear.
Rachel Riley upskirt countdown.
I knew he was going to get into Rachel Riley after he went on a Vorderman binge.
Rachel Riley showing nipples and tight arse.
Is that part of Countdown? Is that they cut from Dictionary Corner?
Don't interrupt.
Oh, sorry.
Rachel Riley. I'm sorry, I've interrupted myself there.
Yeah.
Rachel Riley, massive nipples.
Oh.
When Rachel Riley flashes stockings on Sky Sports. Unbelievable, Jeff.
Unbelievable.
Helen Skelton, stockings.
Don't know who that is.
And finally, Kung Fu versus 3 people.
The art of Kung Fu somehow manages by its sheer existence to just take down people who dare think about opposing it. I mean, I hate Alan. I'm gonna be upfront about my utter disdain for a man who would watch that series of clips. I hope he's just, at the very least, very much ashamed of
I think
just his over-reliance on YouTube for this PG-13. Like, Alan, if you're gonna clearly masturbate in the workplace, which is obviously the case, and I hope you never sit on any leathered surfaces.
I mean, it's very much a leathered chair.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Crusted, is it? With all kinds of effluvia.
although, and look, this isn't to cast any direct aspersion at Alan. Mark and
I have a lot of baby wipes.
Mark and I did share a slightly worried glance when we remembered the fact that we have been having trouble over the last few weeks with with the keyboard keys sticking.
No, that's horrid. Oh, Alan.
Now look, that could be anything. It's an old...
It could
dirty,
be anything.
but it could become...
the semen of Alan as it spews out of his Aubrey Plaza's summer memory of a cock. Oh, horrible. Why is he doing this?
I don't know.
I hate... The thing I resent about it, the thing I think is a shame more than anything is, like I say, why is he going... Why is it this half measure of onanism? Like, if he's coming into work and being like, okay, so I'll have a start off with, some Barack Obama, see what he's ignored this week. That'll be fun. Then what time should we schedule the old wank this week, Alan? I'm thinking 11:30. Then why is he not committing? That's what I hate. It's the lack of commitment. Don't be stuck with this PG-13 countdown porn. Just go all out, Alan, or go home.
So you're saying that I should introduce him not only to incognito mode, but also Pornhub?
What I'm saying is you need to hire him a prostitute to one of the rooms.
Oh,
and just tell him to...
I mean, there's a 100% chance there's one of them in there anyway.
Well, there you go.
So.
Just start calling them.
Yeah. All right. I'll try and arrange something. No, I don't hate Alan. I think Alan's a nice man. I think it's a shame. Which is why I brought it up, rather than a crime, necessarily.
Okay. Yes, I suppose that's true.
This is just it. I mean, Alan didn't have the the beauty of the internet when he was young, and
they just have to look at pictures of Thatcher in office and hope for the best. Stand to attention for her Madge. Tragic times. There was barely a life hack in sight in those days.
You couldn't find out how to shave your vagina if you even wanted to, which you
not
probably
for love
didn't
nor
in the
money.
80s, to be fair.
I think as well, something I find to be a shame about the whole Alan Gate, I'm going to call it, is it reveals, because he isn't alone, and much like these, not to make it not to extrapolate too lofty a point, in the same way that the like Trump victory tells you, it reveals to you that there are elements of society that you didn't really think existed or that you thought were at least a minority viewpoint. Alan is the everyman of masturbation. And this is like, the nation gets a hard-on for Vorderman's bra being revealed in a tight dress on December 19th.
At the
That's a shame.
Pride of Britain Awards 2016.
And the whole point of the Pride of Britain Awards, isn't it like a little kid saved their family from a fire or something? And that's the gist of the Pride of Britain.
Carol Vorderman gave joy to every man over 30 in the country.
with YouTube access and at least a dial-up connection to go with it, and a keyboard on which to smear his crime. Horrid.
Look, he had a couple of quiet days after that, to be fair to him.
Uh-huh.
I should probably say before that, given that we're going back in time.
Okay. So he was building up.
So I took a few select highlights. We had Chinese Massage in Park parts 1 through 3.
Like it's some cinematic saga, like Godfather 2.
It's like Nymphomaniac.
Yeah.
Village Ladies number 2.
What's that?
Couldn't tell you.
Is it like the Village People tribute band?
I don't know. I think it might be.
I reckon.
I think it's like the Pretty Girls competition in Father Ted.
I was thinking quite differently. I think there's something I've read people talk about online is that there was a period.
Just admit that you like this.
No, I promise I don't. I promise, and also I wouldn't need to, because the point is you had to grow up in the 70s, 80s to have relied upon National Geographic photographs of tribal communities
in order to see a picture of a tit.
Yeah, yep. And that was like a major turning point in their
So you think that's what this is? You think that there's a silently implied African village ladies?
Not African necessarily. I'm thinking, it could be anywhere, but I think village, foreign. It's a rurality that Alan gets off to.
Underdeveloped.
That's what he likes in both economy and age. If we've learned anything.
Wow. We're going to be called into a trial.
Oh, good. Is it The Hague again? Yeah, I'll put you through to Alan.
Oh, dear. I'm thinking more libel on our part.
For what? For saying we haven't named him. He could be anyone. You could have made this up.
I very much could have.
Your Honour.
I didn't. But I might have done.
And I didn't know
just
that
for legal purposes.
Yeah.
As far as Isaac knows, this is entirely true. So that's his genuine. And then we had the wonderful. When referees are provoked, they will knock you out.
Oh, will they?
Yep.
Is this just in any context? Is it football referees? Because I've never seen that happen.
Don't know. I didn't watch it.
Oh. It's just good to know, I guess, going through life. Don't provoke a ref unless you mean it.
We're moving into the final 8 now.
Okay. How would you characterise them?
Troubling.
Oh, really? That's a theme.
Troubling, but eclectic, again.
Yes.
Not to start with, mind you, but as we go on.
Yeah.
It's quite the finale.
Okay.
So, is your penis size right?
Right. Okay.
Then, Ruth.
Ask Elizabeth Banks.
Ruth, or ask Ruth, as we're going to find out.
Uh-huh.
No more information. Compares
Just Ruth.
Compares penis sizes with a tape measure.
Okay.
Surely that's measures rather than compares.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what her MO
are. 10 facts about the penis that will blow your mind. There simply can't
Why is
be.
Alan so interested and confused by his own dick? This is a man who's never looked below his own belt.
Oh, no. Alan's just looking to be more amazed by it.
He's like, if there's one underwhelming body part for me so far, it's got to be the old penis.
It's got to be the cock.
Come on, guys, what have you got? I need at least 10 interesting facts to perk it up.
Then we have what did Spartans really look like?
Oh, I see, because 300 has made them look like Jared Butler.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand that one a bit more. That's just boring.
Okay. Then we have 12 animals you won't believe exist.
Okay.
But then
This is like a History Channel bint he's going on.
No, it's not.
Oh, my mistake.
I think this is one that we're going to have to watch in order to come to some sort of conclusion.
Right.
Because this goes either way. Either this is an inspirational video,
right,
or this is crime. So the video is in a similar vein to the one before. 10 teens you won't believe exist.
I don't want to, be informed too much by my preconceived notions of Alan.
No.
But I think he searched for hottest teen this side of Ipswich.
Now, that's a bold accusation to make. There's nothing to suggest that, given that the previous video that he watched was simply the video to Cher's Believe.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, he likes to just scatter it. It's like he's cultivating his own kind of entertainment channel just for him. Like he's peppering in some classics, some educational moments before back down to...
Maybe he's running a podcast. Or like
it could
a radio
be. It could be
show.
like live streaming this all on Twitch and no one in the world is watching, apart from government authorities that are this second mobilising to have him put away for life.
And then the last video on my list is there for the sheer inanity of the title, the sheer pathetic way in which clear, sordid behaviour is being covered up by the worst attempt at euphemism ever achieved in the English language.
Okay.
And it's just woman with big shapes.
Oh dear. Big shapes. Is it a Sesame Street bit? Is it like they're learning about this week? Hello there, guys. That's Kermit. This week we'll look at triangles. Wow, aren't they large?
Hi everybody, here's the triangle.
Fucking hell, that's terror. You sound like Gollum et Elmo.
Yep, well,
and neither of them came out on stage.
That's as close as I can get.
So that wraps it up for Alan. That's the last one you have from him?
That's our little snapshot of Alan.
I will say now that I don't ever want you to talk to him again.
I'm afraid
I
I
don't
have
think
to.
he's safe.
I feel like I'm
Could you
safe.
try and drop references to some of these videos into
there's
conversation?
no way that I'm not going to do that.
Hey Alan, got any big shapes? Alan, have you ever seen Countdown on December 19th?
Alan, honestly, this teen I saw today, you wouldn't believe.
Because I saw her then, but have you seen her now? It'll knock your socks off, pal.
Obama hasn't taken notice, but maybe you will.
Characteristic bit of ignoring there from old Barrio. What's he like? Oh dear.
So,
well, Alan,
here's
that is a shame.
Here's a question. I'm glad it fits the theme. Here's a question for you, though.
Yep.
Who do you think's worse?
Uh-huh.
Alan.
I think it's Alan. Let me just get in with an Alan early doors.
Alan or John Darkins?
Ooh, interesting.
Because with Alan, we've got we've got circumstantial evidence that that Alan is at the very least potentially masturbating at work.
Yeah, he's a chronic daytime TV Disney Channel masturbator with a propensity to spill on his own typing range.
But we don't know.
But we can heavily conclude. I mean, it's implied.
We can connect some dots.
I'm not saying a jury would do him for
would
it,
convict.
but
whereas John Darkins is an out-and-out self-confessed hater of human rights,
women,
animals,
black people. Oh yeah, wildlife he hates.
What can he say? Yes.
Well, of course. I suppose he hates Gary Lineker as well. Don't forget.
Big supporter of Ched Evans.
Yeah. I'm going to retract my initial statement and say that John Darkins just about pips him to the post. The difference for me is the willingness of Alan to conceal his behaviour. To an extent, though, it worries me that I think he's getting off on the fact that he's doing this at work. I think that's definitely something we should take into account.
But if that were the case, then why even search for clear browsing data?
Well, I mean, maybe he's playing us. He knows that you've come across the search and that you've come across the clear browsing, and he wants you to kind of humiliate him on air because people get off on that.
Do you think that... Oh,
He's
fuck,
listening now with his trousers round his ankles.
Am I his bull?
Yeah, he's done you.
Fuck's sake. Do you think that the search for pickles was just an attempt at like set dressing
Throw them off.
to make him look like an innocent old man?
How could I have done any of these crimes? A man like me searching for good old English pickles.
I didn't even spell it right. How would you know that, sir? Oh.
Jeeves told me, didn't you, Jeeves? Sir, Ask Jeeves has been dead for 25 years. And even when it was alive, it was an irrelevance. I worry about Alan, and I worry about all the surfaces that you've touched, potentially eaten from. I think you need to get out of there. It's a toxic...
I've fallen asleep in that chair.
Oh, and woken up with a film.
That's it.
And the sneaky music of da-da-da-da-da-da-da, boom, trailing off into the distance.
The clicking heels of Alan's depravity echoing into
I think
the
we've
night.
given Alan some good insights into himself. I think what he really needed at this point was that kind of outside reflection to just straighten up and fly right.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he's had a full week off. Maybe he's had the chance to explore himself. Hopefully no one else.
To learn more amazing facts about his own dick.
Yeah. To have a look at 30 more photos you need to look at to understand.
Some big shapes.
Learnt
It's all
some
there.
kung fu.
Yeah.
Hopefully didn't knock out a black.
But who knows with Alan these days? He's a riot.
But yeah, hopefully he'll come back to work refreshed.
Refreshed and kind of free from any pent-up libido that might otherwise quite literally fizzle over
Any need
in
to,
the middle of the
to
workplace.
come all over my laptop.
What would you do if you walked in on him mid-Vorderman? Just walk back out.
That's a good question.
It's an eventuality I feel you are going to...
Is this in
inevitably
the
have to
eventuality
go.
that I don't just burst into flames immediately?
That would only make him harder.
If that's the case, I think I'd act as casually as possible. Just stroll up to the desk
Just
and be
pretend
like...
it wasn't happening.
Just stroll up to this, be like, got a room?
Oh, really?
What's he
While
going to
he's
do?
got-
What would you do?
He's got his dick out for Harambe.
What are you doing then?
On the middle of the desk. I have called the police already.
But are you
'Cause
not
I saw
going to?
him.
Are you not going to stop it?
It's not for me to intervene. I'm not getting in between a man and his countdown. That's for the authorities to do. And I have every faith in their ability to shut him down.
Why? You've listened to episode 3.5. You know that they're as useless as can be. They'll
True.
probably come along and finish him off.
Oh, I didn't know that was one of the offerings.
It's one of the
Our tax dollars being paid to wank off.
one of the
old men.
emergency services. G'd fire, police, ambulance, or blue balls.
Oh, it's you, Alan. Okay, they're coming round. The usual.
We've got
stuff.
someone on standby. Don't you worry. Alan.
We've got a photo of Ariana Grande photoshopped onto Carol Vorderman's dress at the Pride of Britain Awards. Yes, Alan, there is a sense that at the time you could be caught. Yeah, we'll try and walk in on
That's
you.
right.
as you
She
like.
is karate chopping everyone into the next life.
And then we'll finish you off with a bit of the news, just to round things off.
Some
there, Alan.
sports.
Well, I hate Alan. He's a shame. I don't ever want to think about him again. He has muddied my mind, and this beautiful, pure show has been dragged into the gutter by his puerile scratchings and arguments with his own crotch.
Well, the good news is that at the end of the week, he has a full 8-day stint, so I'm sure that I'll be able to come back with many more offerings.
It can be a regular feature. What's Alan been wanking to this week? Why not wank along at home? Please do not. That goes both to you, Declan, and to you, the listener.
We in no way condone any of the videos announced in today's episode.
I'd like to distance myself from this episode. I don't even remember recording it, Your Honour.
No.
I think the only thing we can do is to bow our heads in silence for a moment as we allow just the sheer weight of what Alan has done to the prestigious establishment at which such guests as that old man that probably died because of hospital ineptitude have stayed. But to pull us out of the mire, to ascend from the banal to the spectacular heights of art itself, How about part 3, forgive me.
No, I think it is episode 3.
Of Hooked. Is it episode 3?
Yeah.
Oh, it is,
I don't
right.
think that there's any real consistency. I think it was just, it opened up as 1, then told us there was part 2, and now we're on episode 3.
Just for the benefit of posterity, I just want to point out, as I mentioned before the show, in between parts 1 and 2 on my phone have looked like text messages, like they've been graphically designed to kind of appear as bubbles like on iOS. This one has forgone that entirely, and it's just lines of text like a script.
But we've also discovered that I never had the iOS.
Oh yeah,
and
we have
I've only ever had
the same
rectangles.
phone. Tragic.
Yeah.
So set the scene. Where did part 2 leave us? Of course, it wasn't a cliffhanger because it's kind of postmodern. They like to deconstruct the idea of endings and make it less about like teasing and more about just boredom.
It's about a lack of narrative. Certainly a lack of narrative structures, characterization, plot. They've really eschewed storytelling
as a form.
Yeah.
It's brave new ground.
What had happened? She was up in the attic, wasn't she? She had the baby.
She shot through the attic.
She went...
And we don't know if that was with a gun or with her.
Oh, yeah, sorry, that was
self.
Jessica, wasn't it? Who shot through the attic.
Yes.
And Tiffany ran downstairs through the house. She went out into the garden or something, did she?
Yeah, probably.
Something like that. Fuck only knows.
Let's pick it up.
Who fucking cares? I cannot wait to finish this.
Isn't it weird that Mum has never arrived? She's just been away for the whole of these actions. She's still out of the loop here as she says, "Hold tight, honey. I can hear the sirens. The cops are on their way."
Why can't I hear them? Mum, nothing makes sense anymore.
Just concentrate on staying safe. Where's Jessica?
In the house. I can hear her screaming. She just keeps saying, "Where is she?"
Oh, fuck. Jessica's an absolute witch.
I'm not letting her take this baby back, Mum. She's my sister, mistake or not.
Wow. Tiffany's really
such like underhanded insults there.
Mistake or not, Tiffany, will take on this charge.
Absolute
the best.
fucking adulterous condom break or otherwise. She's blood.
I just got out of the cab. I'm walking into the complex. Oh. Tiffany, pick up the phone. Why aren't you answering? I can talk now. Tiffany!
I'm here. That's such a shit attempt at suspense because we just know that Tiffany has to come back or the story's over. Mum's not going to text the rest to no one.
Also,
or maybe she will.
Here, Mum forgets that she exists in a text message and goes, "Oh, thank God. I thought... ...
Yeah.
You don't text an incomplete,
Oh.
interruptible thought.
Oh my God.
What?
I just got a little effect.
What kind of effect?
Well, after Mum's "oh thank God, I thought," ellipsis, when I tapped for a new message, I got the typing bubbles.
Oh wow, animated.
The little dots. Yeah.
I think this podcast has propelled Hooked into a new round of investment.
They've had to put at least $1 into it.
They bought a whole new guy to work on the bubble animation that hasn't made it to my phone.
The ringing phone scared the baby. She started crying again and Jessica ran outside. I ran farther into the woods. I'm hiding in the bushes by Sweetheart Lake. Fuck off.
Stop, that's the worst.
But I think she's following us.
Mum's become more wistful here.
I think she's gone full Alec Guinness. There's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Sweetheart Lake. We used to picnic here as a family.
Are you here? I'm afraid if I move from the spot, the baby will start crying. Jessica is getting closer.
So am I. Do you think? I don't want to preempt anything.
What, if that Mum's Jessica?
Yeah.
I mean, I will fucking throw my phone into the void.
I will email Hooked with such a stern reprimand.
I will.
Their misleading narrative.
I will dedicate every penny I own to having this fucking shut down.
It will be like Sean Spicer's Dippin' Dots Vendetta Part 2.
Don't forget that this does tell us the name of the author when we get to the end of each part. So I will, in the words of Malcolm Tucker, hound her to an assisted suicide.
We'll get them on the show.
No. I just want them gone. If that is where this goes, that is it.
Goodness, these woods bring back so many memories.
Mum, now is not the time to reminisce. Where are the police? Where is Dad? And where are you?
Soon, honey.
I'm calling Dad.
Soon.
And then I'm calling the police. I've had enough of this.
Your father isn't going to pick up the phone.
Right, well, Mum's Jessica. I'm leaving the podcast. I'm not.
Don't allow your hate to govern you to that kind of action.
I'm going to try anyway. Hold on.
2 minutes later, just like text messages
Just one of
don't
these
say.
text stage directions.
What's Mum Jessica been doing all this 2 minutes?
Mum, I just called Dad. His phone was hidden in the baby's blankets. And it's covered in blood.
Throw it in the lake.
Into the lake.
Wait until I get there and I'll do it.
Why would I do that? Mum, why is there blood on Dad's phone?
Get rid of the phone, Tiffany.
No. I'm worried. What if something happened to Dad?
Oh, Mum's got such a great little bit here. Dad, 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 is that all you care about? What about me? I'm the victim here.
Mum, you're scaring me. I'm looking in Dad's phone. Maybe I can figure out what happened to him.
Don't look at the phone. I'm getting closer. I think I see Jessica.
I'm reading the conversation you had with Dad today. He's leaving you. He's in love with Jessica.
Your father was a fool.
He can't take the fighting anymore. He says you've changed. Mum, why did you lie to me?
Because none of this involves you. Your father was making a mistake.
For fuck's sake.
Emphasis mine.
Why? Tiffany here with a not at all cumbersome revelation of, why are you talking in the past tense? OMG. There's another text he wrote to me that was never sent. I'm glad that she was texting all this to Mum. It says he's sorry he can't keep the family together. That he thinks something is wrong with you.
Why is he texting this information?
He wanted to meet ASAP to explain rather than call.
Rather than call, he thought he'd send me a telegram.
He didn't want me to go home today.
I'm
He
afraid...
said you might be
No, go on.
dangerous.
I think we'll have to leave it there because I've run out of hoots.
Are you having a laugh?
My hoots will recharge in 30 minutes.
Are you
the first
having
time.
a laugh?
Well, you see, that was the original plan for how this feature would work, is we'd stop when we ran out of hoots, but it just never happened. It just simply didn't exist as a feature.
No.
Other than
Well,
the one time I tried.
I think it must exist as a feature, but where we initially did so little at a time, we just never...
Well, the story has really ramped up in pace, and I am hooked. I couldn't stop it.
there's like a little indication as to how far through you are at the bottom, and we're close.
We're close,
We're
and I think
close.
we'll probably... Let's commit to concluding it in part 18. Episode 18.
I think that's got to be it, yeah.
I mean...
Oh, no!
They couldn't have signposted... What?
I accidentally clicked out of it, and I can't get back. I'm having to go through the whole story again to get to where we were.
Do that on your own clock.
Oh, for God's sake, this story was boring enough the first time.
They've flagged up the endings, so not with skill so much as with foghorn.
Cumbersome,
Yeah.
unsymbolic
But look,
clarity.
that's hooked. This has been episode 17. We've learnt a lot about Alan. He's a menace. Tiffany, get out of there. Your mum is a baby stealing, father killing,
Jessica.
bloody phone texting. Jessica.
She's a sneaky one.
No, I think Jessica does exist. I think Jessica might be separate, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as sophisticated as even that. But look, it's been a hell of an episode. Let's do some plugs. And then
Yes.
Get out of here.
Okay, well, for, I think, another 3 days or so, we've got the competition going.
Something like that. Yeah.
So,
Till the end of the month.
So if you'd like to be in with a chance of winning an assorted array of goodies, including That's a Shame
Overwatch.
t-shirts, a copy of Overwatch,
Stickers.
some stickers, some
We're
Drown
gonna-
Your Sorrows tokens.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just coincided with me losing one of my jobs, so it's a perfect time for me to buy you a drink. So
Perfect.
head to shame.city/contest.
That's the one.
And
else?
there's about 1 billion ways to enter, none of which I'm particularly familiar with, but
No.
Something about
You can follow the
retweeting.
show on Twitter at That's a Shamecast. You can follow Declan
At Cynical Declan.
You can follow me at Isaac BD. I recommend doing all three. It will really tick your boxes, if you know what I mean. It's a hell of a life hack. Otherwise, tas@shame.city. Send us your thoughts. Are you a daytime TV masturbator? Do you sympathise with Alan? Is he the next big U-Tree scandal waiting to happen?
Or is he
All that
tomorrow's
and more.
Gandhi?
Probably not that one.
Probably
but
the
if you do
former.
think that, you better make a hell of a case for it. tas@shame.city. Also, we said last week, and it's a very vague plug to do, but we would very much appreciate if you've got any friends. I don't mean that as a challenge, but I'm sure you've got friends. Let me start again. Hey, you're a charismatic guy, girl, whatever you identify as. Tell a friend about the show. We'd like to, get more people involved in the Shame City hype, hear from more people, hear more stories, and generally get involved. So pass it on, pay it forward, and all that. This has been episode 17.
I've enjoyed it.
I've had a whale of a time.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been good. And we'll see you on Sunday with a brand new episode and a brand new conclusion to Hooked. Goodbye, lads.
See you later.
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, oh Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be fonder of my big home. The bees are buzzing in the tree to make some honey just for me. The bare necessities of life will come to you. Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, oh Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be fonder, my new home. The bees are buzzing in the tree to make some honey just for me. The bare necessities of life will come to you. Necessities, the bare necessities, the bare necessities of life will come to you.